This flute has a story to it. The year 2009, in February, I walked out of my house and I saw a flash of white light off the right-hand side of me. And the first thing I thought was it was a car, it was a truck or something going up the road through the trees. And as I looked again, it was not a car, it was a bird. My brain says it was a dove. My ears told me no. When doves fly, they whistle. If you've ever heard doves fly when they whistle. So I followed this bird. She landed in the tree, and I looked at her. Pure white. My eyes told me she was a robin. My brain told me she was not. My brain told me she was a robin. My eyes told me she was not. I followed her for 45 minutes with the flute, asking her to sing to me. Show me that you're a robin. I want to hear your song. She sang. It blew me away. She stayed that whole spring, from February, that's when I first saw her, till Memorial Weekend. Then she disappeared. Nobody saw her since. My neighbor came to me with a string of white feathers. She came to me in tears. And she said somebody killed it. I looked at the feathers and I said, no. Let's take these feathers, take them to your house. She has a parrot. She had a parrot. And every feather on every bird is shaped the exact same way, like a fingernail. The size of the feather will determine the size of the bird. Okay. So we took these feathers that were tied on a string and we matched it to her parrot. The parrot is obviously bigger than the robin. The feathers were bigger than her parrot, so I told her these were goose feathers. Robins are migratory. So we held our fingers crossed all summer long waiting for her to come back. And 2009, November 13th, and I remember this because it was Friday. I seen her again. She came back to the same spot. She stayed from November until Memorial Day last year, and then she migrated again. She came back December 6th. That was the last time I saw her. I could go out in the yard every day last year to see her. I think she's lost. Anyway, we all know what's happening with the birds falling from the sky. My prayers are with her. There's a lot of accusations of what's going on. A lot of conspiracy theories, right down to the magnetic pole shift. And birds use the magnetic field to fly. So they really haven't figured out what's going on, but migratory birds are obviously getting lost. But back to the flute. I found a friend on Facebook who has a child that has alopecia. Alopecia is a disease that causes your red blood cells, your immune system, to attack your hair follicles. This little boy turned 8 years old and has absolutely no hair. Has the most piercing blue eyes I've ever seen in my life. They came down for his 8th birthday. I took him up to Arches, and underneath Double Arch, I gifted him his first flute. By the time I got back to the car, I had a text message on my phone from a guy. His name's Ed Daughtry, Tree of Life Designs. He sent me a text. He says, "Do you have a high C flute?" I says, "I did until 5 minutes ago." And he says, "Well, I have a flute here for you. Don't ask any questions. I'll tell you about it when you get it." I waited for a week and a half till I got a triangle box on my door. And when I opened it up, I saw this. This represents a white raven. This is a special flute. I call this my spirit flute because of the elements that it's made of. The raven represents the story of the raven. He brought the moon, the stars, the sun, and brought light to a dark world. The white raven does the same thing. There is a flock of white ravens up in Canada. Vancouver, and it's a genetic. And Ed and I have discussed about the white ravens, talked about it. The wood is American holly. It's inlaid with hematite. The Druids, back in the olden days, would use the wood from the holly tree to create illusions with their magic. Today, Hollywood does the same thing with their movies. So here's the flute. The hematite is actually a mind purifier. So we have three physical elements here. We have the Hollywood, which is illusions. Hematite is a mind purifier. The raven brings light to a dark world. So if you have any illusions within your mind, may this flute expose those dark illusions and purify your mind.